Hello students, so now we have come to the last topic of the chapter, how do organisms reproduce, and this last topic is reproduction in human beings. So human beings, like all other animals, they also reproduce to perpetuate the species, so as to continue the species and to increase the number. So the mode of reproduction in case of human beings is a sexual mode of reproduction, and that's why we have two genders, the male and the female. The male is known as man in case of human beings, and the female is known as woman. And when we talk about the growth process in human beings, a small human being, that's a child, when it grows into an adult, what changes do we see? We can see that the height increases and the weight also increase. Apart from these changes, we are also able to see that the milk teeth falls down and the permanent teeth appears. But when we talk about all these changes, that's the increase in the height, the increase in the weight, and milk teeth falling and the appearance of the permanent teeth. These all changes can be attributed to the growth changes. We can say that as the growth is taking place from a child into an adult, these changes are happening. But then there are many other changes which cannot be attributed to just the growth. There are changes which are different from the growth changes. So what are these changes which are different from the growth changes and happens when a child grows into an adult? And some of these changes are common in both boys and girls. So these changes are growing of thick hair in the armpits and the genital areas. These are also known as the angles of human body. Appearance of the pimples, the skin becomes oily and we say that is prone to acne. And the thinner hairs appear on the arms and legs of the body, whether it's a male or a female. So these are some of the common changes in boys and girls. So what we have seen, that the growth changes are there. Apart from the growth changes, there are some changes which cannot be attributed to the growth but are similar in case of the boys and girls. Then boys and girls during childhood have similar appearances, which means that you are not able to differentiate between a baby boy and a baby girl by the appearance. But as they grow old, they start behaving and appearing differently. So that means the adult boy and adult girl is different, and they are different because some changes are different. What are these changes? When does these change appear in the human body? So when we talk about a boy, the changes which are different from that of a girl and differentiates a boy from a girl are the facial hair growth. That means the beards and the mustache, it starts appearing. The deepening of the voice is there, the voice becomes hoarse. Then the enlargement of the genital organs and the widening of the shoulders. In case of boys, we say the body shape is V-shaped. These changes are different from the changes that happen in the girls. In case of the girls, there is a growth of mammary glands, there is whitening of the hips and the pelvis, the pitch of the voice increases, and the menstrual cycle starts in girls. When we talk about widening of the hips and pelvis, we will talk about why this happens, because in science every change has a reason. Why some changes appear in the males and why some changes appear in the females, why these are also different. So there is a reason behind this. So when we will move towards the process of reproduction, we will just know about all these differences. When we talk about all these changes doesn't happen, they don't happen within some months or years. They may take some months, they may take some years, which clearly means that there is no fixed time for this change. In some people it may appear early, while in some it may appear late, which clearly means that these changes occur differently in different people. Some may mature early while some may mature at a later period. But all these changes which we have talked about, so these changes are actually the indicators of the sexual maturity. When I say sexual maturity, what does it mean? Sexual maturity means that the body is now able to produce the sex cells, or what we call the gametes. The male is able to produce the sperms, the female is able to produce the ova, and these are possible only because of the production of the sex hormones in each of the sexes. That means the male is able to produce now the sex hormone known as testosterone, while the female is able to produce a sex hormone known as estrogen. So when I ask a question, what is causing these changes? So actually it's the production of the sex hormones and the gametes. So these changes occur at different time in case of boys and girls. Boys mature at a later period as compared to the girls. Girls mature early at an age of 10 to 12 years, while the boys mature usually at the age of 13 to 14 years. So the age at which the boys and the girls become sexually mature, or we say the age at which sexual maturity is attained, is known as puberty. It's known as puberty. So what happens after puberty? After puberty, a person is able to produce the sex hormone and also able to produce the sex cells or the gametes. So now the question arises, if a person is able to produce the sex hormones and the sex cells also, that means the body is ready for the sexual act? No, the body is still not ready for the sexual act. There needs to be a proper development. When you talk about development, it means the mental as well as the physical development. There are still some years left for the body to have that kind of development, and also the mental development to take place, so that the people can get ready for the sexual act. So in this video we have learnt about how sexual reproduction will take place, how they are different, the male and the female in case of human beings. In next video we are going to study about the male reproductive system.